Preview Show alongside Haley Stasiak. I'm Jordan Ham. We are now joined by Saguaro head coach Jason Mohns. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So it's another year, another uber-talented team for the SaberCats. What is this year's identity for this particular team, and how has it been different from other teams in the past?
Well, I think it's a defensive team. All of the experience that we returned from last year's team was really on the defensive side of the ball. We replaced just about all of our offensive weapons. Our quarterback, top 3 leading rushers, top 2 leading receivers, quite a few pieces of the offensive line. So it's a young offense and a senior laden defense that has a lot of experience.
There's some obvious guys like Keely Ringo, Connor Soley, Tyler Beverett, Seth Robinson, to name a few, that are having really great seasons, and that was kind of expected. But are there any guys with this team that have surprised you here early in 2018?
Well, maybe not guys that have surprised us. I think we expected big things from them, but you look at Jaden Swink. He's a defensive tackle for us, senior team captain. He's a kid that bleeds black and gold. He's been waiting for his time and had a great junior year last year, and has really been a stud for us up front on the defensive front so far this year. And then running back Israel Benjamin. I think people have heard a little bit about him. He's finally getting a chance to be the feature back, and he hasn't disappointed. I think he's averaging over 9 yards a carry. He's catching the ball well in the backfield. He's great in pass protection. Just a really good football player, smart kid, and a great kid. So those two guys would definitely jump out, off the top of my head.
I'm not sure if you're aware, Coach, but you have a pretty big game on Friday against Chaparral. It's been 4 years since Saguaro and Chaparral have come together and played. For these guys that are on this team, they haven't been in the program. Just what have you told them about the rivalry, and kind of what do you think? Is this currently a rivalry because of the infrequency with which you guys have played?
Well, I can tell you this rivalry never went away. I mean, we haven't played since 2014, but the rivalry still exists, and it's very present. People talk about it all the time. So these kids, even though they haven't had a chance to play them up until this Friday, they know all about it, and they've heard all the stories. And we've got guys on our staff, Kyle Caldwell and Max Payback and Teddy Rubin, and, obviously our coaching staff that's been together and been around for a long time, and they've heard all the stories. They know the players that have come through our program and their program and some of the epic battles we've had. So our kids are very aware of it. They know the importance of it, and they are fired up to be a part of it.
In the first segment, Haley asked me about any notable games from this particular rivalry that jumped out to me, and I brought up that 2008 state game. In terms of just the talent that was on the field on both sides, just how did that stack up to talent in other games that you've coached?
Yeah, that was obviously we were uber talented that year. Chaparral had a bunch of stud players. That was, I think, the second time we had played them that year, and It was a great day. I remember being over there. I was a young coach. That was my second year in the program, and being there at Arizona State, and we really put it all together that day. But yeah, this year. I mean, the talent on the field between the two squads, it'll rank up there amongst the best probably that you've seen in this rivalry. Obviously a lot of the talent between both squads is young. I mean, both of our schools' 2020 classes are loaded with talent, and obviously some really talented 2019 kids as well. But yeah, I think if you're a fan of high school football, the rivalry aspect of it, and it's the sheer Division I talent that's going to be all over the field, all around the country on Saturdays in the next couple of years will be worth the price of admission.
Now, I heard that the color red is kind of a taboo color around Saguaro High School. No red shirts, really, and I heard it even goes as far as to no red Gatorade made by the trainers at practices. What makes this rivalry so fun?
It's just the history of it. I think, anybody that has experience with Arizona State, U of A rivalry, I think it's very similar to that. It's just, if you're a Scottsdale person, you're either a Shat person or a Saguaro person. And for us, if you're not a black and gold, then you're a bad guy. And that's just what it is. I inherited that when I first showed up. The funny story is I showed up in 2007 to meet with Coach Sanders because they wanted to bring me on to be a freshman coach. I didn't know anything about Saguaro, and I showed up. I just got off work, and my work uniform was a red shirt with black shorts, and I walked out onto the spring ball practice field the spring of going into the 2008 year with a bunch, and we had a bunch of dudes on that team, and they looked at me like they were ready to take me out. And so I learned real quick about not wearing the red around Saguaro. So it's just something that is just a tradition that we have. if you get caught with red on in the locker room or the weight room, you got burpees or up downs. It's just a forbidden color. I don't think I own anything that's bright. If it's maroon, gray issue, or crimson, like Alabama, but if it's chaparral red, it's not in my closet.
That's good. What are your keys, in your opinion, to get the win this week in this game?
Well, I think the keys are probably similar for both teams. I think, you've got to establish a line of scrimmage, be physical, have success running the ball. I think from a defensive standpoint, you got to minimize big plays, try to create some turnovers, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the team that's able to run the ball, protect the football, and create some big plays on offense is probably going to come away with the win. I think it's a pretty evenly matched game. I think, for us, we want to make it a physical contest. We feel like, from a physical standpoint, that if we can control the line of scrimmage, I think we can have some success. So we're excited for it. I think it's a great matchup. I think there's a lot of different areas that you can look at as far as positional matchups on both sides of the ball, where I think there's going to be some fun opportunities for guys to make plays, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck on Friday.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
That was Saguaro head coach Jason Mohns there. Good stuff. I mean, we use the term uber talented. And
right.
he used that as well with that 2008 team, this rivalry, the whole color red thing, burpees.
And
that's great.
With that, what if that interview didn't go well because he was wearing red?
The entirety of the Saguaro program would just be.
They wouldn't be going for 6 straight.
That was good.
Good thing that cooler heads prevailed and it all worked out. And
just a minor blip.
Yeah, Mohns just built an empire. It's fine.
How does Saguaro win this game for you?
I thought Coach previewed it nicely. They have such a good secondary, and that Chaparral's going to throw the ball. So they have plenty of opportunities to make some big plays. And I think it's just containing the big play against Chaparral, because they have 4 or 5 guys that if they get the ball in their hands, there's a little bit of green in front of them, they're going to be able to take it to the house. So Saguaro hasn't had to do that much, or they've done a nice job of it so far this year. But I think it's that, and I think that they have some really good depth in the trenches. So if they can really get off to a hot start and really kind of impose their will in the trenches, I think that they could be in a good position to win. This is going to be a really good game. Coming up next, we have Chaparral Junior quarterback Jack Miller coming on with us. Keep it right here on the Friday Night 360 AZ Preview Show.